What's going on, guys? It's Jordan back today with today's second video. And in today's second video, we're going to take a look exactly why I think Stellar Lumens or XLM is going to have an absolutely massive month of March, or at least a massive couple first weeks of March. All right, guys? So if that sounds good to you and you actually enjoy today's content, make sure you smack that subscribe button right down below. I appreciate all you guys that take your day out of your time to do that thing. All right, so let's jump right on into the 4-hour chart here and not waste any more time. All right, so you can see on the 4-hour chart, you can already see what I'm about to get at, right? So every time XLM makes our next move up, what we usually do is we just make a bull flag and retest our previous high. All right, so let's start at the bottom here. And what you can see here is when we got this initial pump back in November, right, we created a bull flag, okay? And we actually retested our old local high as new support, and that was our bottom before moving back up to the upside. You can see also what we did here is we have our 104-hour EMA here, and once we broke that to the upside, that's when we really started to get parabolic here, right about at this point, okay? And that's usually when we break out of our bull flag, all right? So we're going to look at this further down the line, right? So let's look at this pump. So in the beginning of January, we got another pump here as we broke out of this bull flag again. And you can see exactly what we did, right? We came back down, retested our old resistance right here as new support right here, okay? And then we created another bull flag. You can see each one of these times we get one fake out to the downside. We get a fake out right here, which is our back test of our resistance. And you can see we get a fake out right here out of this bull flag, which is a back test of the resistance, okay? And then what do? We fall below our 104-hour EMA. And then once we get above it, that's when we start our next run to the upside. All right, so 2 for 2, guys. Let's move on to the next one here for XLM. You can see this bull flag here for XLM, right? After our initial pump, we go into a bull flag, all right? We get our fake out to the downside, which is a back test of our old high and all these highs as well, okay? We back test those as support, and then we go back into the bull flag, exactly like we did down here. Fake out, back into the bull flag, fake out, back into the bull flag. And then what do? We pump back at another test of support on that bull flag. And now look where we are, guys. We're above that 104-hour EMA. So if history was to repeat itself, we should see a big pump for XLM coming extremely soon. Now, it is possible we might need one more back test back down to the downside, maybe back testing this green line again before continuing up to the upside here. But you know, if history repeats itself, when we do break back above this 104-hour EMA, that's usually when we get another big move to the upside, okay? And you can see how massive these moves are, right? You can see once we broke the 4-hour EMA on this move, we got a massive 170% move. And once we broke this one, we eventually went up 125%. So we could be expecting a big move. In my opinion, I think we're going up to at least 75 cents. And I'll show you guys exactly why in these next couple charts. But I first wanted to touch on this and how beautiful this actually plays out every single time. We literally just stair-stepping up for XLM. Resistance, support, right? Resistance, support, resistance, support, okay? So if history repeats itself, we're going to continue up and maybe backtest this resistance coming up next, all right, guys? So let's jump onto the daily chart. So on the daily chart, we know that we were in this giant wedge, right? And we ended up breaking down to the downside, backtesting our 50-day moving average, and now continuing up. So what's coming next? Well, if we can get back into this wedge, that's going to be super bullish, all right? And I expect us actually get back into this wedge. And here's exactly why. You can see on our RSI, we got lower lows on our RSI, and on our price action, we got higher lows, which is our bullish divergence, which should push us up to the upside. It's already resulted in a nice bounce here, but I'm expecting a bounce back into this wedge, within the next couple days, okay? We're going to get squeezed here in between our 50-day moving average and the bottom of this wedge. So something's got to give relatively soon, whether we go back into the wedge or we continue back down to the downside. Based on history, right, I don't think we have any more downside for XLM. I could be wrong. We already really dumped about 46%. So we got a massive dump already. All right, we reset our indicators. We reset our daily RSI. We reset our weekly RSI. We'll take a look at in a second. But, you know, if history will repeat itself, right, you can see after each one of these pumps, there's a similar amount of days. So from this pump to this pump, it was about 42 days. You can see from this pump to this pump was 38 days. So relatively the same amount of time between pumps, okay? So if something like this were to happen again, right, you know, let's call it 38 days. You know, that would put it at the end of our next pump around 23rd of March. So we could be seeing a massive upside for XLM, you know, really throughout the month of March if history repeats itself. That would also break us out of this wedge pattern that, you know, we've been in for XLM since the end of November. So we'll keep an eye on this, see if we can get back into the wedge. That would be extremely, extremely bullish in the short term, guys, all right? So let's switch on over to the weekly. What do we have on the weekly? Well, this is why I'm confident that we're going to 75 cent next, all right? You can see each time on our move up for XLM, we generally hit our Fibonacci levels perfectly. So you can see on our first really big pump up, we all went pretty much to that 236. We didn't quite go all the way up to it. But you can see we pretty much just wicked to that 0.236 level right here, guys. And then our next pump, right, we back tested basically our 20-week moving average, and then we continued up. And where did we wick to? Well, we wicked right to our 382 Fibonacci, all right? And then we came back down, back tested as support, and we continued up, right? And where do we go to, guys? Right to our 0.618 Fibonacci. And then we continued down, back tested our previous support. And what I'm expecting to happen now, guys, is another pump up to our 786 Fibonacci, all right, which right now is right around 73 cents. So I think that, you know, 73 cents, 75 cents, a little more psychological level could be our next resistance point based on, you know, how we've been moving up in this market, you know, going forward, okay? So we'll keep an eye on this. And that 73 cent level would make perfect sense, you know, if we did continue in this wedge, right, for whatever, how long we want to continue in this wedge for. You know, 73 cents would put us right about here. So maybe we just, we pump up to about that 73 cent mark over the course of the next couple weeks. And, you know, that's where we kind of top out next, or we just break the wedge and go absolutely bananas, you know, coming up. So that's what could be happening soon, guys. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are also excited for the price action that could be happening in March based on this historical chart here, at least in the bull market we're in now for XLM. All right, so hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, make sure you don't forget to leave a subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any of my 2 videos and daily live streams. I'll see you guys in the live stream. I should be live streaming a little bit early today. Probably going to be going live around 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you guys are looking out for that so you don't miss any of my content. All right, also go check out the Patreon if you haven't already. I'm going to be uploading 2 fresh new videos in the Patreon. Link will be right in the description there if you want to see you know, exclusive content. $10 per month. You guys get 2 or 3 extra videos a week. All right, so make sure you guys go check that out. I'll see you guys in the live stream shortly. Peace.